guided meditation into higher levels of consciousness. You see, we are, all of us are, the infinite being. We're just having this human experience, and when we recognize that for ourselves, that's our true self. This wide open, impersonal, neutral, awake, peaceful space, this wide open space of pure awareness of the infinite being, is having a human experience. When we identify with that, that's realizing our true self, that's self-realization. When you really identify with it, you look out from that viewpoint, you are that viewpoint, you are the beingness. What's covering up is just your limiting beliefs, what you believe about yourself. The distractions of the manifestation, your attention's going out, you're identifying with the separate I and a me and my story, you're identifying with being this limited body of flesh, this body-mind construct, this mental construct.
I said, no.
But what you truly are is the infinite being. You've always been that, and you'll always be that. It's just this. So just become open and empty and just bring your attention to this wide open, awake space. When you do that, you automatically go to higher levels of consciousness. Consciousness in the limited form, in the lower spectrums of consciousness, just identifies with this body-mind and this construct of this separate I am Rob with this story. I have these likes and this dislikes. It separates itself. It has amnesia, it doesn't remember what it truly is, what it always is, which is the infinite being, the unlimited being. It goes limited in consciousness, just identifies with this human body and all of its limitations that come with being a human. We know what that is, right? Being separate, you feel alienated, fearful, you get susceptible to depressed, mental distortions, emotional distortions, and traumas. The I, the separate I that you think yourself to be, can easily be damaged by different thoughts that come in, or people can attack it, this world can attack it, the manifestation can attack it in the physical world. But you're not that. You're the infinite being. You're the wide open, impersonal space. There's no person here. You're just this wide open space, and that's how you get to those higher levels of consciousness, is when you identify with the infinite being and you realize that you're not just this limited, separate me and my story, this separate I, but rather you are the infinite being. You are the wide open space where all humans, all manifestation sit inside of this. The universe is inside of you. You are this wide open, awake space, this impersonal, wide open, all intelligent, all powerful, all peaceful, all joyful, all happy, all blissful state. And that's higher levels of consciousness, when you're feeling joy and happiness and bliss all the time, no matter what's going on in the manifestation. And that comes from identifying with your true nature of the infinite being. When you drop, when you let go of the limited beliefs that you have and the identification that you have as being a human being, you enter into what you already are. The reality is your true self is right here, right now, experiencing being the infinite being. That's your true nature. It's just being covered up. You're having a human experience, a limited human experience that you logged into, that you wanted to have to experience the contrast of what it's like to be limited rather than being unlimited. So the manifestation is showing limitations to help you appreciate what it's like to be unlimited. Maybe there's some fun in it, some payoff in there for living some human experiences. Some of them can be fun. But if you want to get to the higher levels of consciousness, there's a lot of peace, a lot of joy. If you're just tired of being limited in the human being, it's too much or whatever, you can simply just shift into, or bring your attention to, or identify with, and drop all your limitations to just become open and empty. Get right to 0 point. It's easy to do. Just drop all your beliefs that you believe about yourself. Drop all of the conditioning you believe about yourself, all the past, all the future. Just become blank. A blank sheet of paper. Just become in this open, clear, open and empty space. Just stay open and empty. And pay attention to the silence. comes before everything, your beingness. Can you stop being now? Can you turn your beingness off? Your beingness is effortless. It's just effortless being. That's your true nature. That's what you truly are. What are you truly? You're just being effortless. You can't help it. It's just what you are. And everything is manifesting in this wide open space of beingness. And the beingness is impersonal and it's joyful, it's happy, it's self-sufficient. It can't get depressed, it can't get sick. It's happy all the time. That's your higher states of consciousness, is when you identify with that. So identify with being the infinite being, the effortless being, the infinite consciousness. And that helps you enter into the higher states of consciousness of life. And the manifestation is the higher states of consciousness. The benefits that come with that is it's a constant okayness here, a constant joy, a constant peace, no matter what's manifesting.
I love these. I love
Because you are coming from the viewpoint of being the infinite being. You're not touched by what happens in the manifestation. Imagine that what's happening in your day-to-day life doesn't really affect you. You can still just rest as the infinite being, as the infinite peace, not being bothered by what's happening in the manifestation, knowing it's okay. It's just what's manifesting. It's all allowing. It's all joyful. It doesn't hurt what you truly are, the infinite being. It's always just resting here, all sufficient, just shining in the background, happy all the time, no matter what's happening. And you'll find when you reach those higher states of consciousness, what manifests is reflecting what you are, what your beingness is. It reflects what you are inside, it reflects on the outside. It's like a mirror. There's no separation. It's just one wide open space. Everything is you, but yet you're nothing. You're no thing in this space. You're everything but nothing. No thing. You're just beingness. It's impersonal. You're joyful all the time. You're happy all the time. Nothing in the manifestation can touch you when you're in those higher states of consciousness. And you know when you're in those higher states of consciousness because you're not affected by what's happening in the world or the universe, and you don't see yourself as separate. You see yourself as everything. You see everything and everyone is you. It's all oneness. It's not two. It's not a separate I. It's no separation. It's just this. And you know you're the infinite being. You know you were never born and you never die. That's how you know when you're in those higher states of consciousness. And you can be that just by identifying with it and just coming to 0 point, becoming open and empty, and identifying with the silence, the infinite being, the beingness that comes before the I comes up.
Mine's intentional normally.
You know what's happening. It's peaceful, it's joyful. Joy will manifest around you. Fun will manifest around you. Happiness will manifest around you, and you won't be affected by anything. If any negative mind perceives things as negative, they just kind of comes and goes really quickly in this wide open space. You can't really last long in your consciousness, in those higher levels of consciousness. It just doesn't stay around very long because you recognize that it's all you anyway. And there's nothing serious going on. It's an okayness. And the word correspondence says what you put out comes back. So if you're putting out that you're the effortless being, you're going to be putting out love and joy and peace and happiness and fun and excitement and exhilaration. And that's what's going to manifest in the manifestation. That's your vibration you're putting out. That's what's going to come back to you. It corresponds to what you're putting out. It comes back. Everything is energy. Like energy attracts like energy. So those higher states of consciousness are beautiful. It's a really cool life experience, having joy and love and fun and excitement and exhilaration and deep peace and deep blissfulness. You can go into the body of bliss anytime you want. Just be blissed out no matter what's happening. You're blissed out, you're joyful. It's just unending, everlasting joy and peace no matter what's going on. There's no judgments, it's just this. It's cool. It's peaceful. Enjoy. Life is beautiful. Enjoy it. Enjoy being the wide open, awake space. Those higher states of consciousness. You're already that anyway. It's just being covered up. So see through it, let all that stuff go. Just identify with your true nature. It's relaxing. It's peaceful. The best way to live. It's what you are already. You're already living it. You just don't realize it. Recognize it for yourself. Enjoy it. It's your birthright.